Implausible Nature now has dice. That's right, you can get these awesome D6s made by our partner, Baron of Dice. These custom dice have the Implausible Nature logo on the six side and also come with square corners, which means they will roll more evenly than rounded corner dice. Head on over to baronofdice.com and use discount code IN40K to get a discount on your order and support us at the same time. Check out his full collection of dice for all your gaming needs with the link down in the description. Welcome to Implausible Nature, your home for all things Black Templar. On today's Templar Tips, we are talking about precision. So this is a rule that was introduced this edition. It's something new. It's a universal rule, and I've seen a lot of questions about it. So I thought we'd go over it and talk about how it works and how you can expect it to be used when you're playing your games of 40K. So first, let's take a look at the rule. It says weapons with precision in their profile are known as precision weapons. Each time an attack is made with such a weapon, successfully wounds an attached unit. If a character model in that unit is visible to the attacking model's player can choose to have that attack allocated to that character model instead of following the normal attack sequence. So there's a number of different weapons in the game that offer precision. There's also a stratagem that allows one of your characters to essentially challenge the other character, so to speak, and gives your character precision for all of his attacks for that phase. How does this work exactly? The first thing to note is that precision is the only way that you can allocate wounds to a character in an attached unit, except for hazardous, which is a different thing. So the controlling player can never ever allocate wounds to that character, which is a good thing because it prevents super tanky characters from just tanking all the shots. Only precision can do that, so that's important to note. The other thing that's really important to note with this is that it happens after the wound step. So as you make your attacks, you get to that wound step, you roll to wound. Once you have rolled to wound, now is the point where you can say, okay, I'm going to allocate this attack or attacks to your character, as long as I have line of sight to him, of course. This works for both ranged and melee. You do have to have line of sight in both cases from the attacking model with precision to the character you're trying to inflict the wounds on. Now, something that a lot of people ask is, well, if I make all my attacks with my character and I kill their character, what happens to those extra wounds? Well, let's remember now that attacks, by rules as written, are technically made one at a time. A lot of times we will speed roll attacks so that we can make the game go faster, right? Not rolling one at a time. But those attacks are technically made one at a time. So after that character is dead, those other attacks just go onto the unit. You can even stop midway through and be like, this isn't working. Like, you've made 3 saves already. I've got 3 more wounds. I'm going to put it on the unit. You can theoretically do that as they roll saves if you'd like to say, I want to see how well you roll your saves, or you can roll your attacks one at a time if you want to, do that. It can slow down the game, obviously, so just be mindful of that and be respectful of your opponent. So now, what about characters who have abilities or stratagems or things like that that allow them to be resurrected? Necrons have such an ability, for example. One of the new Space Marine detachments also have such an ability. So how does that work with precision? If I kill the character and then he is resurrected, what happens? Do I continue to allocate wounds to him if I want to? How does that work? So it depends on the wording of that resurrection ability. The Necron one, for example, he immediately stands back up and interrupts the fights, the sequence with one of those just after effects, which we'll talk about in a different video because that also causes a lot of confusion. Um, so it interrupts the sequence, and you can then continue allocating attacks to him. So the Necron one, which good, can result in your character dying twice. The Space Marine one, for example, is an enhancement, and that happens at the end of the phase. So that takes him out of the fight there. You have to then allocate to either another character in that unit or the other models in that unit. And then at the end of the phase, he comes back. So that's significantly more powerful than ones that are happen just after. Now, what about units with multiple models in the character unit? Grimaldus is one such. Marnius Calgar is another. What about those other models? Well, those other models don't have the character keyword. So they, one, are just become part of the bodyguard unit. So they can be allocated to normally by the controlling player under normal circumstances, but you cannot precision attack them. Now, we know keywords are shared, but they are shared on a unit level. So the unit might be considered a character unit, but only the models that have the character keyword can be precision targeted. These extra models, and especially in the case of Grimaldus, do not have the character keyword, so they cannot be targeted. So that's it, guys. That's how precision works. I hope that helped explain a little bit about some of the things that can happen, some of the quirks that can happen with precision. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment down in the chat below. Don't forget to check out our Patreon and our Discord and click all the YouTube things for the algorithm. And until next time, keep on crusading.